I grew up during the turmoil in the lakes regions of Africa. During the time of Idi Amin's war, my family was here in Uganda, and we fled the country, moving into South Sudan. So what I just want to say is my life has been a life of exile and a life of being temporary here. It's like what the Bible says. We are not permanent here on earth. We are always on a journey. We are sojourners and we are traveling out of this world. So I've not stayed in a place at least for 2 decades in one location, either in Uganda nor in South Sudan. And that has been part of my story, which geared me towards my salvation. One of the most things that changed my heart to look towards God was when we were in South Sudan. That was way down in 96 and 86. It was a bright day like this very day. We didn't know that we were sieged by the rebels from the Sudan People Liberation Army. They blocked our whole village and covered us off from the rescue which may come from the government. It was a lunchtime. After eating, before we could finish our lunch, we heard a loud voice and we came out, and then there was a heavy gunshot and explosions everywhere. And they were targeting the refugees because by then there were refugees nearby us. And my father was doing mission to the refugees. And then those gunshots came and there was nothing. Many people were killed during that time. So what we did was, my mother had to pick a mattress, big mattress, plus all our clothes, because those were the only valuables which our family had, plus a little bit of money, and put it before me and let me go. Told us, let us just go. If it means for us to die, then let us die. And if we could not die, let the children escape. So we tried to escape through the firing of bullets and all that. We ran, and this was a journey of 98 kilometers. Journey from lunchtime. And it was through the Nile Valley. Then when I got to the valley, still the rebels were following us. But at the end, we got safely to a safer place. But that was a day that I talked to myself, that what is the meaning of life? That the same day I thought, Lord, save me. I prayed it without any witness, but because we have seen our friends dying and all those kind of situations, I just told myself, God, save me. I need you now. God used that to turn my heart to look to Him instead of looking to men and looking to things here on earth. My heart was looking towards God, knowing that things of this world will end, because my friends ended that day. And up to today, still I'm here, because I keep on reminding myself that if others can go, I have a purpose of why I'm here. And that one became the starting point and a turning point to my life, where I started valuing God in all circumstances of my life, and the beginning of our mission, where I started thinking that I needed to preach the gospel and start leading many to Christ and start telling the good news of Jesus Christ. So that has been my mission, and it will be my mission until the day I depart here on earth. That is what my heart has told me to do. From that day up to today, that's my hope. I want to tell a story of Empower One, when God called us into the ministry, and that was some years back, and the need of preaching Christ, the need of reaching the unreached. I went to seminary, and after coming from seminary, even when I was in seminary, sitting in that class was like a waste of time to me. Because every time a teacher comes in to tell me of the next book and introduce a next book, it was like sending me away from the seminary to go and start looking for people to preach the gospel of Christ. So when we were in the seminary, we were taught about the unreached people with the gospel of Christ. And when I discovered it was just next door, my next door, There are several people who have not received Jesus Christ. So we thought that it is necessary for us to address the problem of the 1040 windows, which the Muslims are coming south, moving south of the Sahara, and we thought it is good because we are strategically located in South Sudan and Sudan, just on the edge of the 1040 windows. We thought that it is necessary for us to take Jesus Christ to the Muslims too, as the Muslims are trying to bring their gospel to us. We also need to take the gospel of Jesus Christ to them, because one of the biggest things that we realize, the biggest problem is everybody wants to come to Africa to do mission, and everybody comes with his comfort in mission. And they end up staying in Nairobi, they end up staying in Kampala, they end up staying in some of the cities. But Sudan and South Sudan is one of the most difficult places, which I used to ask, what is the problem? And we thought that we can become missionaries to our own people, to reach our own people who have not been reached by the gospel, by the help of our friends in the West, to equip us to go to the difficult places which most of them could not go. And that has been the core value of Empower One, to use Africans to go to reach their unreached people. At first, we had a limited vision of only looking at South Sudan and Sudan, but now God has expanded our ministry, not only here in South Sudan, but also in Chad and in one of the countries which I will not mention it here on camera, and we are even in DRC and here in Uganda too. So all these have been intentionally done for the purpose of reaching the unreached people in Africa and telling them about the gospel of Christ. When we start training in needs, the first phase was a little bit difficult, but at the end, everybody saw that it is working. So we got more students. We trained over 500 pastors, and one of even the pastor went and left and went to DRC Congo. And in DRC, he planted 53 churches in Congo, one pastor. And he has now set up his own training center in DRC. And out of that, we are expecting a big explosion out of that one person. Now, in these 500 pastors whom we have trained, the biggest number is here in Uganda and South Sudan. But some of our leaders left. They went back to their homeland. With the book of Romans chapter 10, verse 1, my own desire is that my people need to be saved. So they went back to their homeland in Darfur, and they started underground churches. Few of them doing more than those who we expected could do more than them. But they went back, around 10 of the leaders went back, and they started a movement. Now they have over 200 underground churches in Darfur. And those churches which are going like wildfire in Darfur now, they have also started some work in Chad. They are on a mission to Chad. Now the work in Chad, which we are doing now, has also touched, the guys are talking of moving into Libya. So because of this, we have seen the 500 has multiplied, and there are over 10,000 of believers that has come out of this number. These are baptized believers out of this number. So there is a great work which God has done through needs, and we have seen that the leadership has grown, and the leadership has done so much. And now our vision for all this is that we can replicate needs in Chad, replicate needs in Sudan and in Darfur, in Damazin. We can replicate needs in South Sudan, in 3 locations. We can replicate needs in northern Uganda and DRC. so that at the end of 10 years, they could train, each group could train over 500 leaders. And out of that, then the 500 could train beyond what we could even comprehend. So our biggest vision is running behind the unreached people group, but beside the unreached people group, go with a sound gospel. So that's why we believe in going slow than going faster and convincing people with numbers. But because this is our work, so we need to do the truth and do the best. So needs are build a foundation that will go to all these countries and be in these countries. At the end, it will lay foundation for sound teaching, for strong foundation that will be felt in heaven and here on earth. And I know that needs have been here for a purpose. So God has used this small tool that has been put together by unprofessional people like us, we who love the Lord, to get the whole world with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thank you.